Tomato, tomato. It's day 4 and we are making tomato juice. It's going to have the same robust flavors that you typically find in a vegetable soup or even a vegetable broth. So let's go over some of the vegetables that we're going to have in our juice today. Now I have some leftover vegetables here. I like to call them my vegetable scraps. We won't let them hear that I call them scraps. But these are vegetables that I didn't use all of, or vegetables that started to over-ripen and I didn't want to waste them. So we're going to open that up and see what we're going to put in our juice today. All right, so let's see what we are working with. We have some leeks. Okay. I love the smell of leeks. It reminds me of a cross between celery and green onions. And of course we have some more celery that got a little limp, so we'll see if we can squeeze some juice out of that. We have some green bell peppers, and of course we have some carrots. And the reason why they look like this is because I was making carrot ribbons, and I scraped the carrots into ribbons, and I didn't want to throw the unused pieces away. So that's why they are here. Now with any vegetable soup, you can always adjust the amount of vegetables that you use. But the key ingredient, the star ingredient of this soup for me is the garlic, right? So I have about 12 tomatoes here, and for every 4 tomatoes, I would say use 1 clove of garlic. So since I have 12 tomatoes I'm going to be juicing, I'm going to be using 3 cloves of garlic. So it just depends on how strong you want it. And so I'm going to cut these up, wash these off, and I'll come back and we'll get to juicing. Our vegetables are all cut up and they are ready to go into the juicer. Now you may only juice for 1 person or 2 people, so I would recommend starting out for your serving size, maybe start with 4 tomatoes, 1 carrot, or maybe 2 carrots, 1 celery, and 1 clove of garlic, and any other vegetables you want to throw in there. But I think that's a good start for a smaller portion size, okay? And when you start juicing, remember any of the harder pieces, like our carrots, we want to make sure that we alternate soft, hard, so that they won't get stuck, but it'll allow for the juice to come out. Even better. Here we go. And I love this juicer because it can run and I can still talk to you. So we're going to need the plunger now to push this down. And these tomatoes are really soft to where you can see there's hardly any pulp coming out. And the only pulp that really is coming out is the skin of the tomato. Some of these are really big, so I'll just cut those in half so they can fit through the chutes. Look at that color. Oh, so let me put in some hard ones, like carrots. Uh-oh, can't get that one in there. So there we go. Oh, you hear that? So with the harder vegetables, you actually hear the crunching or the crushing. And our juice is coming out. Wow, look at that. Oh, that's nice. And it's a nice thick juice. So it's not like a watery juice. It actually has some thickness to it. So when you're drinking this as a juice, it puts you in the mind of a soup. All right, let's get some celery in there. I can go from the top on the celery. And some leeks. So it's having a hard time going down. So on the side, we actually have a reverse button. So it pushes it up, and then it can go back down. What? Even without the plunger. So it pushes it up, and then it comes back down, and then I can help it. I think I got the carrots are kind of stuck crossways. So let me fix that really quick. Let me hit reverse. And let's try it again. Yep, it's going. Alright, so while that's turning, I don't know if you can see that. See that cheese coming out? Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm going to grab a spoon so you can actually see how thick it is. So what I'm going to do is, it looks like I have a lot more to go. Well, let's put some peppers. Oh, and here's the garlic. So we'll make sure you get the garlic in there. Get some green peppers in there. And you can hear the machine crunching. And then we'll add some liquid in there to help everything move down smoothly. There we go. So I'll finish this and I'll come back. Our tomato juice is ready and I'm ready to taste it. Here it goes. That is really good. You can taste the flavors from the other vegetables and the garlic. It really comes through. And it's very light and refreshing. When I used to buy V8 juice out of the can long time ago, it was very thick to me. But this is actually very light. And if you want, you could take a very fine strainer and actually strain it through to actually get it a little bit thinner and maybe take out some of the pulp if you want. But this is excellent just like it is. Tomatoes. So tomatoes are beneficial whether they're raw or cooked, heated. In fact, some studies show that when you cook tomatoes, it actually increases the bioavailability of lycopene. And lycopene is the nutrient that's found in tomatoes that help fight against cancer. Now on to our raw food recipe. Now, a raw food recipe today is going to be a tomato cucumber onion salad with a tomato vinaigrette dressing. So I've already cut up the tomatoes, the onions, and the cucumbers. And I'm going to show you how to make the dressing. Show you the ingredients for the dressing. And we're going to blend those up in our blender. I have a smaller blender, and I'm going to put that in our blender bottle here. So the ingredient calls for 1 cup of tomato juice. So since we've already juiced our tomatoes, I'm going to pour 1 cup, measure out 1 cup, and put it in our blender. The other ingredients that we're going to use is, just making sure that you can see here, we're going to use 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, and you can substitute with apple cider vinegar or any other vinegar if you like. So that's 1/4 cup, and we're going to use the same 1/4 cup of olive oil. Remember yesterday we were talking about coconut oil and how coconut oil is a saturated fat. Well, olive oil is an unsaturated fat. In fact, it's a monounsaturated fat, and it actually helps to reduce cholesterol and reduce the risk of heart disease. We're going to add some sweetener to that, some agave nectar. You can substitute honey or maple syrup, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground mustard powder. If you don't have ground mustard powder, you can substitute with Dijon mustard. So we're going to put this on and give this a whirl. This also calls for this also calls for garlic. But because we put garlic in the tomato juice, I'm going to leave it out of our dressing. So we're going to give this a quick whirl. Remember how to make it work. Let's be able to just push down on it. It's plugged in. This is what happens when you're on TV. When you're recording, I promise this actually worked before. Before the camera started rolling. All right. Okay. So since that's not working, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. You can actually put this in a whisk. I'm sorry. You put this in a bowl and whisk it. Because what you want to do is you want to really get the olive oil to mix in with the other liquids. And we know that oil and water don't mix, but if we shake it really well and whisk it, then it'll blend. And then you can actually put this in a jar and leave it in the refrigerator to use later. And then when you get ready to use it, just give it a quick shake and you're ready to go. That looks really good. What do you think? And you can add a little bit of salt. I forgot the salt, but I wanted to save the salt and the seasonings for after when we put the salad dressing on. This is looking good. Let's smell it. Oh my gosh, that smells really good. So let's pour some of this on our salad. And we're just gonna give this a little toss. Make sure it gets nice and all the pieces get nicely coated. And you can adjust how much you want. I like salad dressing. In fact, when I was growing up, I would have so much salad dressing on my salad that people would ask me, would you like salad to go with your dressing? So my dressing was the main dish and the salad was a side dish. Oh yeah, that's better. And because I like salt and I know I'm going to need salt, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. And a little bit of black pepper. And you can also put in some fresh herbs if you want. Basil goes really well with tomatoes. You can use fresh thyme, fresh rosemary, or you can even use dried herbs as well. All right, so let's put this in a bowl and give it a taste. So I don't have my serving spoon, so we're just going to scoop it out like this. That looks really good, doesn't it? That is a really simple salad dressing. And most salad dressings, in fact, you really don't even need oil with this. If you're one that's watching your oil intake and your salt intake, just leave it out. There's a lot of salad dressings that you can make just using vegetables and some other natural ingredients, like a natural sweetener and some herbs. Okay, so here we go. Oh, let me show you the plate. All right, let's see what the salad dressing tastes like on our vegetables. That's good. This is good. You have the tart from the vinegar. You have it a little bit of the sweetener so it doesn't overpower too much. And you got a little kick from that mustard powder. This is good. That is very delicious. I love making salad dressings. And through the years, as I began to eat more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, I began to appreciate the natural flavors of the fruit or the vegetable by itself. Without overloading it with so much salad dressing, I was able to enjoy just the natural flavors of the vegetable itself and just letting the salad dressing be an accompaniment to the salad and not the main course. All right, well, that's it for today. So we have our fresh tomato juice, and we use that tomato juice with some olive oil and some red wine vinegar and made a lovely salad dressing to go with our tomato and cucumber onion salad. All right, so it is day 4. Let's go to our juice advent board and uncover the word of encouragement for today. This is not a word, but it is an encouragement. So I'm going to turn it around. Dun, da, da, da. And it is a thumbs up sign. Who do you want to give a thumbs up to? Who's been doing a really good job? Who's been positive? Someone you want to give a congratulations to, a keep on going type of greeting. So give somebody a thumbs up today and let me know what you gave them a thumbs up for. Okay, so we will see you on tomorrow.